Hello and welcome back to CC Insti and I'm continuing playing Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot First Cases. Last episode we found out that Angeline is probably, and well, not probably, is Major Hagen's daughter. And yes, Angeline's father. Now, there is one thing that I just realized. We haven't seen Elizabeth Badgett at all. And we haven't even discussed with her after the first evening. That's actually quite worrisome. Why? Right. But that is neither here nor there. What are we doing now? We are going through the other people's rooms. Search guest rooms for evidence and possible collusion. Investigate murder, investigate blackmail, yes. So we are allowed to go everywhere except Jackie's bedroom. Why what? Anyways, let's start with Margot's bedroom. Unless Margot is in there, I think she... should make myself known before entering. So there...
Entrez.
So these are not empty rooms for now. The Comtesse room, it would be rude to not address her before searching her room. Really? Piano... Oh, package, not pancake. I'm thinking about food, apparently. Okay, Margot.
Detective, what a pleasure. I did not expect to see you in my chambers.
Right.
In a purely professional capacity, I can assure you.
There is no need to act so stiff, Detective.
Madame, after the revelation of your actions last night, I'm afraid my sense of humor is all but gone.
I will not apologize again for merely trying to help. Shall we get straight to it then? Let us not waste your time any further, Detective.
I saw you conversing with one of the young servants yesterday. Did I? I commend you on your dedication with the woman you help. It is most honorable. Have you been able to find many of the girls from the shelter work? Okay, let's start with that.
That would be Inga. She has been one of the most promising young women that has come from the shelter.
Madame Vandenbosch took in a young lady from your shelter.
Remarkable.
There is no need to sound so surprised, Detective. She does have a heart.
I did not mean to sound so cruel. I just did not expect Madame to hire someone of that background after the incident with her previous maid, Florette.
People change, Detective. You should not judge someone on their past actions.
So what are your past actions then?
Believe me, Countess, I know that only too well.
I commend you on your dedication with the woman you help. It is most honorable.
Be careful, Detective. That almost sounded like a compliment.
Take it as you will.
It is your actions in this house that have been questionable, Madame. Your work outside is something that many more could take note of.
We do what we can.
And have you been able to find many of the girls from the shelter work?
We wouldn't be doing a very good job if I could only help one girl. I in fact found work for one of them as a maid in Monsieur da Silva's house recently.
Interesting.
She has fitted into Monsieur's home well.
What is better, Detective? That she remained in an abusive house, or she is able to rebuild her life with an honest wage in a prosperous house?
When put like that, is she happy in her position?
The happiest she has been in years. I check in with them all as often as possible. And if there was a problem, I would know.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that more girls are building a better future for themselves, and it is with help from the Comtesse that it has been able to happen.
Merci, madame.
Now, finally, gramophone. The wonders of modern technology. What a joy it must be to have music in one's home.
Aha.
Very tempted, but I shall say myself. Yes, I'm thinking that, well, we have the telephones which are more modern than what would be early 1910s or around that. So I'm guessing the idea is that the war they are talking about is World War One. There is a slight problem, like I discussed earlier. I think there's a slight problem with when Hercule Poirot was in the Belgian police force, because he's still in the Belgian police force. He's a detective, so there is a slight timeline problem. But anyways, fireplace. We will check that too, because who knows? Maybe someday there is something. No. Grandfather clock.
Huh.
Yes, same things. First aid kit. Interesting. Well, she said she has a background. Yes, a first aid kit full of medical equipment, bandages, plasters, antiseptics, and a pair of scissors. Ah, package and window. I don't know if I need to check, but I will check. Perhaps a present for the family as a thank you for their hospitality? Perhaps. A window, nothing new probably. Fallen Snow has laid a beautiful white blanket. Yes, we already know. Thank you, Poirot and Plant.
Oh.
Yes, lean, yes. But I will check everything if I can. So, talk to Margot. Yes, Margot helped Ernesto find a maid. Margot works at the women's shelter. Margot helped Inge get hired. First aid kit. Talk to Margot. Investigate murder. What is the new thing? It's right over here. First aid kit. Okay. So, Margot.
Go ahead, detective.
Perhaps I was a little rash with my response to your examining the Major's body.
A compliment and now an apology. Well, detective, you certainly have changed your tune.
I do what is necessary to uncover the truth.
There was something I was still unsure of. You mentioned that your training was some years ago.
From my days as a nurse, oui.
If that is so, why would you have brought several pieces of equipment usually found in a physician's bag?
One must always be prepared, detective.
True.
Prepared? At an engagement celebration?
If I had not brought them, I would not have been able to assist you last night. Perhaps you should be thankful for my precaution and not so suspicious.
Or perhaps not. And had she not brought them at all, I would not have to ask such question. Okay.
Merci, madame.
So are we done in here yet? Margot came prepared, yes. So the next guest room. Okay, to the next guest room then. Do ever guarded Shagaline Conrad. It is time I should question her on her conversation with the Major before searching her room. I don't know. What was that? Nothing important. Good. And I managed to bump the microphone. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully it didn't. Here. So are we going automatically through the rooms without me need to walk? I don't know. But anyways, let's talk to Jackie.
Detective, what can I do for you?
I don't know. Let's see.
Mademoiselle, I am sure you understand my reasoning for such intrusion.
If it's going to clear my name, be my guest.
If you wouldn't mind answering some questions, it can hopefully be cleared faster.
I'd like to start with your relationship with the Major.
Like I said, he's not the man he wants everyone to think he is.
Okay.
Oui, but how is it you came to that conclusion?
You don't really want me to recount every conversation I've had with him, do you?
There is one particular I had in mind.
Tell me about your argument.
An argument would imply it was a two-way conversation.
Semantics. Just tell me about it.
And that is not how it was?
Here it is. I've been helping Angeline get exposure, her marriage to Gideon is big news, and his work is really paving the way for others. I saw the chance to get their names out there, and he didn't like it.
What was there not to like?
Your guess is as good as mine, Detective. But if I had to, I'd say he was jealous it wasn't his name at the top of the article.
I'm guessing you are quite wrong because you don't know the relationship between Major Hagen and Angeline. There's something more to it.
And his reason to storm off?
Oh, you know about that. Let's just say I didn't accept his pathetic attempt to get me to stop the story. If you're gonna try and pay someone off, at least make it worth their while.
Oh. He was trying to pay. I thought the Major would only be supportive of Mademoiselle Angeline. There must be more to why he would not want her success to be known. And there has to be something more to it. I'm sure you have grown weary of this subject, but Monsieur Beckers...
You've really got a fascination with that guy, huh?
I would not say fascination. An interest, perhaps.
Well, I'll save you the bother of trying to find out more about him. He's not that interesting. In fact, he's a bit of a wimp if you ask me.
That is not the impression I got of him.
That's because you've only seen the side of him he wants you to. He knows what to say in front of the right people. But behind closed doors, he's clueless.
Interesting assessment. Clueless in what way?
Let me guess. The first thing he told you was that he was a union leader. No, the voice of the people.
Vox Populi?
A man that is proud of his work is not something to be sneered at.
Don't get me wrong, he has a way with words, and he can certainly rally a crowd. But that's about it. At the end of the day, he's a representative and nothing more. He's got to play the part, not just learn the lines.
Mademoiselle does not think particularly highly of Monsieur Beckers. She is a strong, independent woman, but to use the term wimp is unnecessary attack on his character.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to relax.
Sure thing, Detective. And if you change your mind on that exclusive about that shooting...
If I do change it, you shall be the first to know.
Can I check your room? There's a window. Obviously, we're gonna check the window. Again, I'm gonna check everything if I can, just to be sure. The same thing. Okay. Anything? Oh, cluttered workstation.
Oh.
Jackie has set up a makeshift office in her room. She must bring her work with her everywhere. Mr. Atik spotted leaving the Velvet Tickle. Okay. Friday, 23:50, 15 past 11. Camber House has been poaching off neighboring land, boar, deer, and duck. Maggie to follow up. Is this some sort of a code? Mrs. Bond found her husband in the marital bed with young maidservant. Testament from maid needed. Mr. Denon overheard at the Cackling Crow speaking poorly of King Leopold. He said questionable ideas. We say doubtful, skeptical, shady. Notes from Francis by Monday. Right. A roaring fire, which I could stare. Yes. Pocket knife.
Aha.
I presume this belongs to Jackie. Chasing a good story may lead her into some precarious scenarios. Maybe. Cupboard? There does not seem to be anything of interest in here. Newspaper and gramophone. Among them, recent article by Jackie Conrad about the riots linked to Ernesto's factory. Peaceful strikes turns to loss of lives as violence breaks out on Frontline, following the tragic events in the city that has darkened the spirit of the people and brought to screeching halt the rising defiance of the working class. That the area has been cordoned off and police presence at the scene has increased. Factory security forces have been asked to step down and the powers handed over to law enforcement services. Workers laid down their tools, switched off all machinery and stood together shoulder to shoulder as the fight for fair pay and conditions raged on. What started as a peaceful protest by those employed at the factories has turned into the battle of class, with support for the workers coming in from all over the city. Although reports have not been confirmed, sources state that violence broke out following second wave surge of supporters. Official numbers have not been published, but it is believed that as many as 8 workers have lost their lives in the fighting. The workers' frontline has been considered as a representation of the people and working class of Belgium that now refuse to work in such demanding conditions for such a demeaning and insufficient wage. Chief Commissioner Larue has confirmed that the outbreak of violence and resulting civilian deaths are being investigated, and an official statement is to be made in the coming days. Jacqueline Conrad. 4,000 riot, 5 dead. 8. And gramophone. Wonders of the modern technology. So what did we... Harum. What is the new... Did I miss it already? Meteor's corpse. Oh, pocket knife, sorry. Yes, it's here. Presumes the balance Jackie chasing a good story made later. Yes. We need to talk Jackie once more with a feeling. Okay. Pocket knife. Stack of newspapers. Talk to Jackie. Jackie's notebook. She seems to have made a good name for herself. Blackmail seems to be a common theme amongst the upper class. Jackie wasn't keen on Felix's offer. Major tried to pay Jackie off. Okay, Jackie, anything new?
Go right ahead, Detective.
I was surprised to learn Monsieur da Silva and the Major worked together.
All Felix cared about was money and filling his pockets with it. That's why he got into bed with da Silva.
The Major was not in need of money, though.
Need and want are two very different things. Did he need to move here and leech off the Madame? No, but he wanted to.
Tell me your opinion of their work together.
As far as I know, da Silva hired him to work security. He was worried what could happen to his precious factories if things got ugly.
And your reporters were there to cover the story when it did turn that way.
My reporters go where there is news to be told.
And you predicted the violence that occurred?
Anyone could see that was gonna happen. If you ask me, Hugo should have acted sooner.
Okay.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to relax.
So are we done here? Jackie thinks Hugo was slow to react and Major only cared about money. Okay, we are going to next guest room apparently, so there's no... Here we are in the Mademoiselle Angeline and Gideon's room. I wonder what we shall find. Okay. Boots. Give me your clothes, boots, and your motorcycle. Gideon's room is pristine.
Huh.
I could have mistaken it for my own. Drawer.
Ah.
There does not seem to be anything of interest in here. Photograph.
Oh.
It seems they used to be closer. Perhaps their recent behavior was merely a facade. Could it be possible that Gideon collaborated with Zachariah? There is a possibility of that, yes. A roaring fire, yes. Book. Grandfather clock. Let's check that. Window. Obviously, we're gonna check that too. The play. And window. I'm guessing blanket of snow. Blah blah blah. Yes. Right. So is that it? Did I check the drawers? I think I did. I'll check it once more.
Oh.
Okay. Well, this was boring. Photo of Gideon and Zachariah, and Gideon's room is pristine. Okay. I think I'm done. Because honestly, there's nothing there to be fine. With all the west guest room searched, I should make my way to the guest rooms on the east of the first floor. There must be an evidence of collusion somewhere. Indeed. So we can't. So yeah, we are not allowed to go back in these rooms. Can I check the storage room? I don't know if I can go to major study. I'll go and check that quickly. I might as well. Hey, what is that? That is something I can check, nothing else. There does not seem to be anything of interest in here. So basically, I think I've checked everything in here. Again, why? What is that? Blanket or whatever. But let's check the storage room if I can. Probably nothing there. No, we can't even go there. Okay, fine. Telescope, I think we already checked that, so we can go downstairs. I wish we could skip, but unfortunately we can't. Fortunately, it doesn't take that much time to walk around. Margot cannot enter. Jackie cannot enter. We have done with that. So if we missed something, we missed Inge. Where's Elizabeth?
Mademoiselle, we meet again.
Bonjour, Monsieur Poirot. Pardon, Détective Poirot.
Just a detective is quite all right.
Bon, can I help you with something?
I don't know. Can you? It was you that alerted the house to the major's body, was it not?
I was taking him a plate of food, but he didn't answer to my knocking.
Well, it would be hard to answer if he was dead.
You then entered the study.
I did. He wasn't moving. He just lay there.
I did not mean to upset you again. Seeing him there would be troubling for anyone, and I'm sure it is not a memory you wish to relive.
Tell me about your relationship with the other staff.
I suppose we're like a family. We argue, but most of the time we get along.
You must all be quite close then.
Some more than others.
What do you mean by that?
You refer to whom, mademoiselle?
Well, Maman Rihanna, she's been here the longest, and she's very close with Lizzie on account of Luke.
On account of Luke. What? How is it Mademoiselle Elizabeth's late fiancé connects them?
Maman Ray is Luke's sister. You did not know that?
No. That is interesting.
I thought she would have said. She talks about him all the time. It must have been awful, losing him in those riots.
Oh no, riots. So Luke died in the riots. Major was the security guy, and his actions probably caused Luke's death. So it would seem Elizabeth and Rihanna has the perfect reason to kill Major.
Apparently, he was right at the front when they were charged. They didn't stand a chance. If I had been the one responsible for his death, I wouldn't want Maman Ray looking for me.
Okay.
Mademoiselle Rihanna, Maman Ray, she has expressed her desire for revenge.
Every time she talks about what happened.
How is it that the knowledge of Luke's death has eluded me for so long, and the death of brother is certainly motive enough? Yeah, but Rihanna could be. Rihanna and Elizabeth are quite good contenders for the murder or manslaughter, whichever it will be. I did not see an aggressive side to Mademoiselle Rihanna when we spoke, but I wonder if she would act on such impulses for revenge if the opportunity arose. I don't know, but you, Poirot, are forgetting Elizabeth. We haven't talked with Elizabeth. She's also one who could be the killer. If you do not mind me inquiring, what brought you to the women's shelter?
I guess you wouldn't know anything about life on the streets.
It is not an experience I have had to face personally, but I understand that many are forced into it, and the lifestyle that comes with it.
The lifestyle of a thief, you mean?
Put rather bluntly, oui.
You are the first officer that has not taken one look at me and pulled out their handcuffs.
Okay.
Mademoiselle, I can see you have turned your life around, and I commend you on your efforts.
Without the Countess, I would probably be rotting in a cell somewhere.
There is an obvious alliance to the Comtesse, and an understandable one at that, so she could be helping Comtesse.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Inge's involvement in recent affairs. Inge may seem nothing more than a young, innocent maid. Well, to be honest, she is not innocent, she's at least a thief. Well, because of the circumstances, what I mean is that she has abilities that normal servant would probably won't have. But there is something that she is withholding. If I am to solve the cases before me, I must learn what it is. Sinister part of me says that the blackmailing thing is different from the murder. That should be obvious. So the murder, I'm starting to think it's Rihanna or Elizabeth could be a culprit. Both have good and valid reasons to do it. And Archibald even might to hide it. But the blackmailing thing, there's always the point that there's actually quite a lot of blackmailing going on around the area. And it just popped into my mind. Comtesse helps poor unfortunate people, get them jobs on the socialites' houses, like Inge, for instance, in here, Van den Bosch family. They uncover secrets. Inge is a thief, so she herself says she's a thief. She might be able to unlock the safes and whatnot, and maybe the Madame Comtesse is actually having a racket of blackmailing thing going on. She provides servants to the houses. The servants uncover secrets because they can do that, and then the madame blackmails them. But that's different from the killing. But I'm thinking that it is what is happening here. We will see how wrong or right I was. Probably very wrong. Inge was in trouble with the law in her younger years, theft especially, yes. Inge feels disconnected from her peers. Inge confirmed she found the body. Inge got shot from Margot, so yeah, I'm guessing Margot is keeping a racket of blackmailing. That's my assessment at the moment. And I'm starting to think the murderer is either Rehanan or Elizabeth or both. Because they would have a reason, very good reason to kill the major. Well, it was a defensive wound, let's say that, so maybe they went and confronted the major and it escalated and stabbing was a accident, half accident. Possible means to methods used when executing the crime. Inge got the job from Margot. Inge came from women's shelter and is clear about her loyalty to Margot. Why does this seem significant? But why does it seem significant is obvious, because Margot has the means and possibilities to insert people who have special talents and gather information. The one thing the game always alludes but never really says is that there is multiple blackmailing going on around the areas, not just Major and Angeline or Cassandra or Van den Bosch family. So it's not just this family, it's a couple families, and Margot has connections with socialite families, as as Inge just alluded to us. Zachariah's bedroom, southern. Okay, so we need to go Zachariah's bedroom then. I wonder if Monsieur Zachariah is as seemingly innocent as his brother. I should speak with him before searching his room. Okay.
Monsieur Demir, I hope you are feeling better today.
Nothing a good night's sleep couldn't fix.
Très bien. I wonder if you would be up to discussing certain matters with me.
Whatever you need.
Whatever I need, indeed. I'm sorry if dealing with the Major's body brought up any familiar emotions.
I lost my taste for death a long time ago, but it had to be done. I'm certainly in no rush to be carrying a dead body again, though.
I understand, yes.
Most understandable. I shall extend the same gratitude to you as I did to your brother.
You've spoken to him already. How is he?
Perhaps that should be a question you ask him yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
I spoke with your brother about your past.
I bet he had a lot to say. He always did have an opinion on the war.
When I say your past, I refer to your past as brothers.
Oh. Okay, well, what did he say?
It seems you both had the same sentiment for this party. Perhaps the bridges that you thought were once burnt are in fact primed to be reconstructed.
We'll see how probable that reconstruction is going to be. Until he sees my point of view, I don't know how we can move forward.
What is there for him to understand before the bond can be repaired?
He lost his friends in the war, the same as everyone. But somehow he has forgiven. I'm sorry, Detective, I can't. And Gideon just doesn't understand that.
After speaking with Monsieur Gideon about his brother's state of mind, I think the best thing for them both would be reconciliation. There is something about Monsieur Zachariah's story that he is leaving out, though. The death of his friends and comrades weighs heavy on him. Perhaps survivor skills. Your brother was talking with the Comtesse while in the salon. I was not aware they were so close.
Those two, close.
They must share something in common to be able to hold a conversation for the time they did.
If there is one thing I know about my brother, it's that he will not. No. He cannot be rude. He just doesn't have it in him.
Was it not your brother that punched Monsieur Hagen?
Ah, that's different. He was asking for it. If you put my brother in a room with 5 socialites like her, he would work his way around every single one of them, offering his full attention and finest manners.
Okay, that's
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
good to know. So now we can check the room. Again, everything. I'm guessing we can check the window. Oh, plant. Let's check the plant. The plants are lean and rely on each other, yes. And the window with the blanket of snow. Yes, beautiful as ever. A gramophone, what a modern thing to have. Wonders of a modern technology, yes. And ceremonial dagger, interesting.
Oh,
Ornamental dagger from Zachariah's time in the war. We have multiple weapons that could have been used for killing, but we are missing Steel Major's own knife. Fireplace, what a cozy little fireplace. Roaring fire, yes. Anything else? Bed, chairs. Apparently we can't talk to him again. Cigarette butts. Oh, you do enjoy cigarettes also. Nothing wrong with that. The room is littered with mess. Cigarette butts are discarded right next to the ashtray. So is that it for now? There's one connection to do here. And yes. Ceremonial dagger. Time in the war. Okay, we got a few things. Zachariah says Gideon was polite to Margot. It does not surprise me to hear that Gideon would mind his manners when speaking with anyone. Cigarette butts. The room is littered with mess. Cigarette butts discarded right next to the ashtray, so you are a messy person. Like me. Zachariah doesn't seem too keen to speak with his brother. There must be something holding him back. Despite my best efforts to push Zachariah, he seems too hesitant to reconcile with his brother. And ceremonial dagger. Do I go with hesitant and the photo? I have one thing I can connect.
Order and method. That is the way to solve the problem.
Okay, that doesn't work. So photo and Zachariah is hesitant to reconcile.
Another success.
Oh, that
I never doubted myself.
Again, I did. The mere brothers' strange relationship is enough to suggest they would not have worked together. They are unlikely to collaborate, obviously, but that is if everything is just for show, but I guess not. So, about that dagger.
Always got time for my favorite detective.
Oh, you make me blush. There is a particular item I found while conducting my search.
The dagger. I wondered how long it would take for that to become an issue.
Who knows?
I shall give you the opportunity to explain the reason for it being here before I jump to any conclusions.
It was going to be a wedding gift for Gideon. I've maybe not been the best brother in recent years. I thought this could make up for some of it.
A dagger? Well, okay.
After what happened to the Major, I thought it was a bit tasteless.
Well, you got a point in there.
You did not see it fitting to tell me you were harboring a rather sizable knife in your room?
I wouldn't say harboring. And I wasn't expecting to be a suspect in a murder.
Okay. Fine, I'll believe.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
I'll believe that for now. The dagger was a gift for Gideon. I think I've done everything in here, so let's go to the next guest room. So we are going automatically after this, okay? Who's next? Monsieur Beggar's room. Without him here, I am free to search it. Okay, that's good. That is definitely good. What do we have here? I'm guessing we have the photograph here and window there and roaring fire over there. Well, with so many siblings, it must be difficult for Hugo to get attention. Now that is a big family. That is not a roaring fire, but I will check that. The window, blanket, snow, lovely, fallen, yes. Plant, leaning, yes, rely. Notes, book, note. It seems he has been attempting to write a speech of some kind, unsuccessfully though. I wonder, does this fit a pattern of behavior with Hugo? You underestimate the power of man's defiance. Your men, you are in position of bring all of this to an end. All we ask is what we deserve. You got what you deserve. If you do not reject your men, they will be met with equal force, too forceful. Your weapons may beat our bodies, but they will not bruise our heart spirits. Well, that's not good. These are the men that have built our great nation, country, and will continue to. Money will not save your souls. Okay. A book. Inside Hugo's notebook, a hasty scribble regarding a meeting with, who I assume, Ernesto. Curious. Interesting. Grandfather clock. Time and skill. Yes. So nothing else. Can we see the note?
Oh.
No. So why they were meeting? There's the next guest room. We are not going there just yet. So let's see what we managed to find out. Oh, Hugo is here. Scrap paper. It seems he has been attempting to write a speech of some kind. Unsuccessfully though, I wonder, does this fit a pattern of behavior with Hugo? Hugo's family photo with so many siblings. Yes, must have been difficult for Hugo to get attention. Inside Hugo's notebook, a hasty scribble regarding meeting with who I assume Ernesto. Scrap paper, slow to react. Let's try that. I don't know if that works, but we tried.
What a revelation.
Okay. In Jackie's opinion, she doesn't value Hugo particularly highly. Would he collaborate with anyone else? I wonder. Okay, that didn't work. So we have still connections. What can we connect? What can we connect? Ernest to find mate. Pristine pocket knife. It's got to be something with Hugo, I think. The Major only cared about money. What does it mean? The Jackal claims the Major only focused on money and didn't care about much else. Blackmail seems to be common. Jackie paid off. What about Hugo's notebook? Inside Hugo's notebook, a hasty scribbled regarding me, assume Ernesto. Curie. Okay, okay. Almost a crash. Be right back. Okay, we're back. So we got this new. Do I connect that with Hugo's notebook? I don't know if that works. Let's try.
What a revelation!
Okay. What does it mean? Hugo and Ernest confirm each other's alibis. It is possible that they may have colluded to murder the Major. Can I find anything to support this? Interesting. I didn't see that one coming, but yes. So am I done here? I think I am. Right, okay. To the next guest room. The business-minded Monsieur da Silva's room. I'm guessing we need to talk to him before we check the areas. Can we check the windows? No, we cannot. Okay. Ernesto.
Monsieur da Silva, I am sure you understand the necessity for this type of search.
Not really, Detective. Your speech was rather spirited, but it did not give me much faith in your investigation.
I have not had my abilities questioned to my face by one of those I suspect of a crime before.
Well, if you wish to prove me wrong, you should hurry up and find Felix's killer.
And I hope, with your help, monsieur, I shall.
Madame van den Bosch spoke of your work with her late husband.
Yes, I helped him invest some money. Unfortunately, he was not the businessman he thought he was.
Madame van den Bosch had a very similar view. At least he could have taken solace that you were both in the same position.
I think you're confused, Detective. It was Edwin that lost his fortune, not I.
Forgive my naivete. If you were helping him make viable investments, would you not have seen the same opportunity for yourself?
I told him about the opportunities. I did not tell him to put his whole family's wealth into it. The prospect of doing good meant more to him than his profit margins. He was bound to fail.
The business declared bankruptcy.
It did, until it was purchased for a fraction of its worth and made the new owner a small fortune.
Maybe you? I'm beginning to see Monsieur da Silva's more ruthless side. It sounds as though the Viscount was trying to at least make positive change, but perhaps he was missing Monsieur da Silva's cutthroat edge. Well, most likely yes.
Everything that I want to say on that matter has already been said.
I totally forgot to read what was it saying about probably relationship.
I understand, monsieur. But what I would like to know is, was the late Viscount aware of your feelings towards his wife?
Excuse me, Detective, but you have crossed the line.
Crossed the line like an attempt to bankrupt a business partner and friend so that you'll be able to swoop in and impress a certain target of your affections.
Interesting thought process.
You make such ridiculous accusations without a shred of proof.
Your reaction at the mere suggestion is proof enough, monsieur. While I cannot arrest you for betrayal of a friend, I can hope your conscience does not forget, and that will be punishment enough.
Yeah, there is a possibility that that what Poirot said happened, and it could be more likely. Yeah, Monsieur da Silva's actions are not criminal offense, but if there was a penalty for deception and deceit, he would surely receive a life sentence. If he has gone to such lengths before, what would stop him from committing a similar act again, this time to the Major? I know you have worked with the Major, but what do you know of his finances?
He didn't have much to speak of. I was always surprised at the life he lived.
Surprised in what way?
Well, considering it wasn't that long ago he came to me asking about work, I didn't think he was in such good financial shape.
You offered him a position.
Nothing that he was willing to lower himself to. That's when he began talking about what else he could do for me.
Okay. The Major worked security for your factories.
If you can call what him and his team did security. For the money I paid, I did not expect them to be so reckless.
Interesting.
It was a considerable amount you paid him?
There's no need to divulge amounts, but it was certainly more than was expected.
One would expect a business of Monsieur da Silva's caliber to have agreed a price for the Major's services. Why would he allow the Major bother more? Okay.
He said they were all professionals, but I saw nothing of the sort. He said he had worked with them all in the army as their superior officer. They were men that could be trusted.
But something went wrong, apparently.
But that was not the case?
I had not even met them before they arrived on site. They brought their own equipment. They looked like they knew what they were doing.
And this equipment, it included the weapons that injured and killed the workers?
It was not much of a choice, Detective. I said they didn't need them, but Felix said it was essential. He said he knew better.
The more Monsieur talks, the shadier his dealings with the Major become. It begins to sound as though the riots were no accident. I don't think they were an accident.
That is all for now.
Okay, now let's see what we can find out before we continue. Gramophone. Modern wonders of the modern technology, yes. Letter. Always interesting to see the letters. A contract for partnership between Ernesto and Hugo. It's missing Hugo's signature. 12.1. This agreement is governed by the laws of the Kingdom of Belgium. Both parties agree to following. Current worker strike shall cease in all manners and forms. Factory floor machine operators and supervisors shall return to their positions immediately. 3. That was the 2. 3. Terms of the above contract shall be implemented and relevant action taken directly. Signed, Mr. Ernesto da Silva, factory owner and employer Ernesto da Silva, and Miss Hugo Beckers, the union leader. But what they are trying to... Roaring fire. So, we don't know what they are... well, what the contract includes for the workers and for beggars. Anyways, letter. A letter stating the blackmailer would reveal information of his questionable business dealings. Monsieur da Silva, at first you may question the nature of this letter, but by its conclusion you will know that what you have fought so hard to keep hidden could be far from it. You have spent years feeding off of the hard-working backs of the others and offering nothing in return. Your workers continue to take their lives into their own hands day after day, with your shoddy, damaged and dangerous machines for a fraction of what they deserve. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, aligning them with more of your blood money, it is your workers that must pay the price. The mistreatment and pain you have caused does not only reside in the factories that you own, but the house that you live in. You do not value the lives of those that allow you to live the opulent life that you do, and I will not allow that to continue. I can no longer sit back and watch as you disregard any sense of integrity or morality and continue to remain on your self-made pedestal, lording over those that deserve so much more. It is time you paid the price of for your crimes, and the cost is 5,000 francs. It is a small price to pay for my silence, for if I do not receive it before Friday, it will not be cash you are paying, but rather years behind bars. Bring the money in a small brown paper parcel addressed to Monsieur Cordier at the post office, Rue de Porte, and Give it to cashier and leave If you do as requested, you will not hear from me again and you may continue your life of luxury. It is obvious you do not value others' lives, but I urge you to consider what yours is worth. Okay, this almost confirms that Margot has something to do with, because Inga said Margot provided a servant to Da Silva also. I'm disappointed if the Margot is not behind the blackmailing, but I think she is. So, blackmail. Who is the culprit? Well, Margot. Questionable business dealings. There is a blackmail letter. Talk to Ernesto. Partially signed contract. Talk to Ernesto. Excuse me. Okay, back in it. We have, what is this? It seems attempting to write speech. Partially signed contract. Hugo's notebook. Do I connect this to here then?
Come, my little grey cells. We...
Woman shelter, blackmail letter.
I cannot see the logic
Okay, that
in
doesn't
this.
work. Family photo to partially signed. I don't know how that works.
This will not get me
It
any
doesn't.
closer to my...
Oh, right. Hugo's colluding with Ernesto.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
I don't... My brain's totally left that out of the equation because it had already a line in there. But yes, that's another success. I never doubted myself. I did. I doubted this duo would collaborate, or would Ernesto deal with another member of the house, perhaps someone who never confirmed his alibi. Yeah. Hugo and Insti seem unlikely to collude. I'm starting to be a little worried about we haven't been able to talk with Elizabeth at all. Factory strike. Pay the Major well for his support. Security attacked first. Inge Frank. Previously prosecuted, Inge was troubling with the law in her younger years. Theft. Woman's shelter, yes. Rihanna Piet. Wants revenge, yes. But... And Rihanna is Luke's sister. At the moment, I'm tempted to say the culprit is either Rihanna or Elizabeth. Oh, we need to talk to him. I could be totally wrong anyways, but it could be.
What is it now, detective?
Monsieur Demir invited Monsieur Becker so that you two might sit down and find some common ground. I'll start with that, then we go and push why Ernesto hit the letter.
Yes, and no one asked him to.
But surely it is beneficial to both parties. Your profits must have been affected.
There are barely any profits to speak of.
Why have those talks not taken place and a deal arranged?
Monsieur Beckers has made no attempt to speak with me and offered no counter-offer. The ball is in his court, detective.
Although it's Monsieur Da Silva's wages and treatment of his staff that is in question, it sounds as though he is at least trying to resolve the issue, surprising unlike Monsieur Beggars. Now, why Ernesto hid the letter?
I have spoken of a potential blackmail ring. And yet you still kept your letter to yourself.
It is none of your business, and it is nothing more than a cheap trick to have me admit something that is not true.
If that were the case, it would be strange for you to have kept the letter and brought it with you, would it not?
Your persistence is a trait I do not enjoy.
Monsieur da Silva has remained blunt, if not curt, with his responses to my questions. Perhaps it would be best to act in courteous and empathetic manner so that he may more forthcoming with the truth of his blackmail letter encounters. Straightforward. There must be a reason you thought justified hiding it. You do not have to enjoy it, monsieur, but you must answer to it. I go with straightforward.
No reason, detective. Merely saving you from wasting your time.
I will be the judge of that. I would like to know about any and all evidence that may help my investigation. I trust there is nothing else you deem a waste of my time.
Of course not, officer. It's not as though you think I'm harboring some illicit secret. The letter was a pathetic attempt to intimidate me. Nothing more.
Condemned. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money or concern, you do not value the lives of those that allow you to live the opulent life that you do. I don't want to go with the condemning because that probably shuts him down. I go with the concerned.
I have never heard so much rubbish in all my life. I value those that work hard and deserve it.
Is it wrong then?
That suggests there are some that you do not respect.
Yes, well, why should I praise someone for doing a poor job? You make me sound like some monster.
I guess I failed that.
Monsieur, the letter does not only discuss your questionable business dealings, but also cases of abuse against your staff. Both accusations that must be taken very seriously.
Detective, there is a difference between telling a member of my staff what to do and abuse.
And it is you that decides where that line is drawn?
In my house? Yes, it is.
Oh, was I correct? I don't know. Let's see. Monsieur does not like being pressed on the subject of how he treats his staff. If he had nothing to hide, there should be no need for such a reaction. And do you have any ideas as to which staff member may have expressed their abuse?
Please stop calling it that. I treat all my servants exactly how I always have, and no one has complained before.
That does not mean your behavior is appropriate.
They have one chance. If they are not doing the job they are hired to do, they are gone. You would be surprised how many staff expect an easy ride.
I did not expect Monsieur to treat his staff the same as his friends, but I also did not expect him to treat them like stray dogs.
Is there a specific member of staff that may have expected such a ride?
There is one girl, a new maid. I didn't expect great things from her, but Comtesse de Vos promised me she could do what was required.
This must be the young girl that Comtesse spoke of. Perhaps the position she is finding for these girls are not the best fit. I don't know if I failed that or not.
That is all for now.
I felt like I failed it. I don't know. Maybe I did. Investigate blackmail. Where's the new dot? Ernesto mistreated his employees. Okay. Motives. Mistreatment?
I must act on thought and...
Oh, we have something here. Ernesto employed a servant from the women's shelter. Inge got the job. Am I connecting these two then?
Some would say a lucky guess.
Margot is making her shelter girls to do her dirty work, finding dirt on the members of the social elite. Margot, yes. Wow. And search the guest rooms for evidence of possible collusion. Let's see, what can we do now? Ernesto unwilling to pay the blackmail. Ernesto employed a servant from the women's shelter. So are we connecting these two?
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover the truth.
Oh, the women's shelter and employed?
Order and
No?
method. That...
Right. What about Ernesto unwilling to pay? Archibald allowed. What happens if I do this?
Come,
No?
my little grey cells.
Do I?
Is there something I am
What
not
am I
seeing?
missing? What am I missing? I was certain that I would need to connect. Maybe this then goes to blackmail letter?
I must take a
No.
different approach if I am to...
Okay. Hugo. Do I connect is Margot or... I don't really know. No, I'm just...
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Why? Why? Please tell me why. Ernesto doesn't strike me as the sort of man that would ask help no matter how important. Oh, would Ernesto deal with another member of the house, perhaps someone who never confirmed his alibi? Okay, so that's the reason why we are connecting Ernesto Newsmaid is from Margot's shelter, another young woman. Again, that's still a bit of a stretch. But anyways, let's talk to Ernesto. But because what I thought is that we actually connect these. Margot helped Ernesto find me. But again, maybe I'm misunderstanding here something. Okay, Ernesto.
What is it now, detective?
Did you speak with the Comtesse directly about hiring a servant from the shelter?
She approached me. I thought it was rather brash.
That is interesting too, yes.
In what way?
Assuming that I would want to take on another servant, and one from such a troubled background. She is running the charity, not I.
Monsieur, there is something you are keeping from me. Your business relationship with the Major was obviously towing the line of legality.
When he came to me, I told him that with the factories on strike and my profits pouring down the drain, I had nothing for him. But he said he could help me get them all back to work and the factories earning. His rates were steep, but he said he knew what needed to be done, and he was prepared to do it. A week passed and they were all still on strike. In fact, even more had joined them. He made excuse after excuse, demanding more and more money for the job to be done. But he never actually told me what he was going to do.
The riots.
I had no idea they were going to charge them like that. How was I meant to know?
And even following such a tragedy, he continued to demand money from you.
He said if he wanted my silence, it would cost. Do you have any idea what it could do to my livelihood, my name? If it got out that I had paid the so-called security that did that.
I have every idea, monsieur. You hired a militia to take action against your own workers. You deserve whatever name is chosen for being so morally bereft in your decision-making.
I didn't know that was what he was going to do. You must...
I have to believe nothing but the truth. And the truth, monsieur, is that it is not only the Major that has the blood of those men on his hands.
Okay.
That is all for now.
So what now? More connections. Can I... Oh, okay. Now we have Margot approach Insti to offer help. Do I connect these then?
I
Nope.
must act on thought and fact.
So this is something I need to connect with something. Honestly, I don't think I would connect these to here because we already know that. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Archibald allowed... Well, that is true. Margot approached Ennis to offer help. So Archibald allowed Margot... Because I think Margot offered her help for Archibald. Again, it's a bit strenuous. Yeah.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
So it was correct. Okay. Margot may know more than she's letting on if she has inside link with the staff of the house. Talk to Inge. I have found no clear evidence of the guests working together in any capacity. What has become clear is the Countess' connection to the staff. Could there be something more to their relationship? Well, I'm 99.99 sure Margot is running a blackmailing ring, offering social elite workers from her shelter, and they uncover things from the families they are working with, and then she blackmails them. I'm almost certain. Talk to Inge. Okay, I might continue a little bit forward. I think we are almost soon to end the episode 6. I would like to have that concluded. So where's Inge? Maybe on here. There she is.
Is there something you need, detective?
Yes, there is. Tell me about your true relationship with the Countess.
She helped me at the shelter and with this job.
Okay.
That I am already aware of. What I am not is what else she tasked you with.
Pardon, detective?
Oh, now again they're plowing the snow apparently.
I know that your position as a servant in this house is not your only job. What did Countess de Vos ask you to do while in this house?
She said I had to do what she asked, or I would be back on the street. I didn't want to do it. If anyone found out, I would be the prime suspect.
Madame van den Bosch would have been aware of young Ing's past, and she's worried that they would accuse her. What was asked of her must be related to her past life as a thief. Okay, that's annoying. Hopefully it goes past soon. I'm gonna pause it for a while so that the plowing will go past. Be right back. Well, hopefully the noise distraction is gone at least a little bit. So let's continue. Madame van der Bosch would have been aware of young Inga's past, and she is worried that they would accuse her. Yeah. What was asked of her must be related to her past life as a thief. Oh, the missing key. She probably stole the key. Maybe.
Merci, mademoiselle.
So what can we do here? Where we can uncover Inga's involvement in the recent affairs. Investigate the blackmail. Inge is following Margot's orders. Inge previously prosecuted, and it was a theft, if I remember correctly. Yes, theft. Archibald lost his key copy and safe access. I'm going to connect these. I hope this works.
This will not get me any closer to my goal.
Okay, so safe access then?
I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a...
Do I connect? Inge is following Margot's orders. Inge is previously prosecuted, so we get another thing.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Yes. Inge has admitted that her work in the house is not wholly honest. Inge is assisting with the thefts. Well, is it now that either lost his key copy or safe access? I'm gonna try with this.
Magnifique.
Okay, it was this. I thought it was irresponsible of Archibald to lose his key, but now its disappearance makes sense. It is quite, yes, irresponsible, so Inge stole the Archibald's key. Now let's talk to Inge. How's our blackmailing going? We have something here. Margot has links to several staff members. She sure does. Okay. Now, Inge.
Is there something you need, detective?
What was it that Comtesse asked you to steal from the house?
Nothing. She said I was to take nothing.
If it was not something she wished you to take, what was it?
She wanted me to find out information about the family and Monsieur Hagen.
Why did she request that?
At first I didn't know, but when I heard about Mademoiselle Angeline being blackmailed, and then the Major, I knew she had used what I found.
Perhaps my suspicions of Monsieur Sterling's involvement with the Major's safe were incorrect, and his key was not lost but stolen. Well... Yes. Tell me how you accessed the safe.
I knew Monsieur Archie had a key, and it would be easy to get it from him.
You knew that the Major asked Monsieur Sterling to access the safe from time to time, and if anything was ever discovered missing, he would surely take the blame.
I never took anything. I only told the Comtesse what I had found.
And that was?
About Monsieur Hagen and the Madame's relationship, and Angeline.
And that's quite a lot, actually.
I'm sure the Comtesse was pleased to hear such valuable information.
But the funny thing is that it was not Inge who rushed to the safe before the Cassandra, because Inge had to know that information before even the party, because the blackmailing had already started, so somebody else wanted to go there also.
She said I had done a good job, but I needed proof. That's why I went back and got the letters last night.
Oh. So she knew, but she didn't know she needed proofs. How... I'm a little lost. Did I miss something obvious? So, the proof of Major Hagen's relationship with Cassandra and Angelina is in the safe, but Inge saw them only last night, but the blackmailing started even before the party, so how did Inge have the information of the relationship if the proof is in the safe? So it was young Inge that beat Madame van den Bosch to the safe last night, but why would they be left in such precarious fashion? When I returned to study in this morning, their letters remained out and the safe open.
I fetched the letters again and took them to the Countess last night. But she shouted at me and said what a stupid girl I was.
Oh, okay. So she had stolen those earlier, checked them, and told the Comtesse. But the Comtesse started blackmailing, wanted the evidence, so she fetched them again, showed them to Comtesse.
You were only doing as she requested.
She said it was too dangerous for her to have them with you around. That's when I returned them to the study. I thought I heard someone on the stairs, so I just threw them back. It was dark as I dared not turn the light on. Someone would have seen it.
Trying to slot key in the lock in the dark is no easy feat. That would explain the scratches on the safe, yes. So, okay. That explains it. So she accessed the safe earlier, way earlier, saw the evidence, saw the Countess, she started to blackmailing, but suddenly the Countess started to be hesitant about the proofs. And then Inge steals it the night of the murder, after the murder, and shows the Comtesse, who wanted the proof, got annoyed. Inge, she had to return. Okay, now I understand. Okay. Still a little bit messy, and again, yeah. If Madame van den Bosch had only tried to retrieve a letter minutes earlier, she would have surely crossed paths with Inge.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Okay. That was a bit messy, but now it works, sort of. Inge knows... What? Inge knows of the hidden room. This room I keep hearing about is certainly well hidden and at the same time well revered. Are we talking about a room where the one staff member was not allowed to go, but I thought it was... Okay, so there's a hidden room somewhere. Inge accessed the safe. Inge scratched the safe. I'm guessing Inge stole Archibald's key and Inge accessed the safe.
Another success.
I wonder how many secrets the house holds for Inge to find. Trying to uncover secrets, so secret room.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
If there is somewhere in this house where a secret lies, it will surely be found in the hidden room. My suspicion of Comtesse's connection with Inge was correct. She was using the young girl to find out anything and everything she could about the family, while the Comtesse need not even get her hands dirty. Okay, so this is done. Then talk to Inge, yes. Oh, it's back. Well, we are hopefully quite end of the chapter. Van den Bosch secrets may be in hidden room. Do I connect this with the staff?
Come, my little grey cells.
Okay, anything other? Anything new? Well, there is Inge access the safe. and Major confess to love.
Order and method. That is the way to solve the problem.
Apparently not. Do I connect Margot as links with several staff members with the London? I don't know. Let's try.
What a revelation!
Okay. Such a calculating web of lies and secrets, what motive could possibly justify such devious actions? Finally, I have unmasked the blackmailer. Mademoiselle Angeline and the other recipients of such letters may no longer live in fear. Comtesse de Vos shall pay for her crimes. Margot is the blackmailer. Yes, so it would seem. So we're done with that. Now, we need to talk to Inge. Oh, we're not allowed to talk to Inge. Okay, let's talk to Angeline then. We need to talk Inge later. Hopefully we can do that. Before that, I'm gonna check her room if we can. Okay.
Mademoiselle, merci for coming.
Have you had a breakthrough, Detective?
I have. Finally, I have the news you have awaited.
Please, Detective, don't hold me in suspense.
I have finally uncovered the identity of the one holding the Vanden Bosch named ransom.
Oh my! I feel faint at the thought of knowing who could have done this to us.
It is said to keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. It is Comtesse de Vos that is behind the letters.
I don't believe it. What about the Major's letter?
Not only his, but a letter to Monsieur da Silva.
She was blackmailing him as well? Detective, I just don't know what to say.
Say nothing, it's often the best.
Take a moment, mademoiselle. It is a lot of information to take in.
I just don't understand why she would do such a cruel thing.
What do you know of young Inge's past?
She has never been particularly forthcoming with it, only that she was homeless for some time and that she was at the women's shelter before here.
And it is there that the Comtesse abused her power and manipulated her to uncover secrets of the family.
All this time she has been working for Margot, doing her dirty work?
I am afraid so, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle is in a state of shock to learn that such a close friend of the family has betrayed them in such cruel way. It must be devastating.
Is Maman aware?
You are the first I have told, mademoiselle. Next will be the authorities.
Poirot, you are an authority.
I'm afraid that we'll have to wait.
Stipulate, mademoiselle, we must go through the correct channels.
And we will. I want to see her punished to the fullest extent of the law. But we cannot telephone anyone, as the lines are still down.
I think Poirot forgets that he is still a detective in the Belgian police force, if I'm... Or is he? I don't know.
Monsieur Archibald informed me earlier I had hoped they would be working again. Last night's snow must have caused more damage than expected.
Last night? They have been done all weekend, Detective.
Ah, so the phone call was fake, but why? So Archibald is definitely making excuses and protecting someone. Okay, I'm almost certain that the murderer is either Elizabeth, Archibald, or the cook, whose name eludes me at the moment. And I'm tempted to say Archibald is helping the cook or the Elizabeth, and one of those are the guilty person.
Detective? Are you okay?
How could I have been such a fool? I saw Monsieur Sterling talk to telephone, but I heard no ring. No, you didn't. You heard exactly what you were supposed to hear.
Detective Poirot?
It was a lie, a scene acted out for my benefit to throw me off the scent. If I believed that the Major was still alive at the time, I had no reason to investigate anyone's whereabouts beforehand, anyone being Monsieur Sterling and his staff.
Would you like me to fetch you a glass of water, Detective?
My apologies, mademoiselle. I was taken by surprise for a moment, but I have regained my composure. A glass of water is not required. Would you excuse me?
Okay,
Merci, mademoiselle.
Chapter 7. The family. Welcome to the family, son. My patience has grown thin. The guests and the staff of this house think it is acceptable to lie to my face when questioned and obstruct my investigation, but no more. We shall see how Monsieur Sterling and his staff fare under some pressure. Dig deeper into Archibald and Rehanna. That was the name. I have been lied to for the last time. My suspicions initially led me to guests, but now they are firmly placed on the staff. Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rehanna cannot hide behind their lies any longer. To be honest, we have a problem. Even Poirot just cancels out Elizabeth's involvement totally. We haven't seen her since the first night. She's been off the side. We are not talking to her, we are not doing anything with her, and she definitely was still mourning her fiancé Luke. So unfortunately I'm going to say it was Elizabeth, but if I remember correctly, it was more like a said that it was more like a defensive wound. So maybe that wasn't a, I would like to say, not premeditated murder, although there are some things that need explanation. Definitely things what Archibald did, because that seems premeditation. But I'm almost certain the guilty person would be Elizabeth. And the problem is we are not talking to her at all. It could be Rehanna or Monsieur Sterling, but again, I'm thinking Elizabeth. But we will see. Again, you can see we have this staff here. Inge, we know what Inge already did. We have Rehanna, we have Archibald. Where is Elizabeth? Why are we not worried about her? Hugo and Arthur, mistreated employees. Basically, we already know. Was being extorted, yes. Major Felix Hagen. The Major was extorting money from Ernesto also. There was quite a lot of extortion going on. Inge Frank, Inge access to safe, yes. Inge was tasked with gathering information. Inge is following Margot's orders, yes. But anyways, that is for this episode, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.